Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Hope you're having a safe and happy one. So this video is to talk about scale when it comes to Hot Wheels cars. This does translate over to 15mm gaming as well, and also for Gaslands, because we do in 15mm gaming use Hot Wheels quite a bit because they are a cheap resource. So like my previous video that came up, we're talking about scale about the cars, and when it comes to figures, there are varying opinions of what is best. Now, to be honest, there is no wrong answer to that because it does vary greatly. As you can see, I've got a couple cars here in front of me, as well as some figures of various sizes and scales. So let's go ahead and start out with a couple of here. Okay. So right here, I've got 3 seated figures. Excuse me. Okay, so now this one, right there, and I know it's going to be hard to focus because I have so much going on this table right now. So anyway, this little one right here, he's supposed to be 20 millimeter. I'm not seeing it. This one, his legs are chopped off. This was from Rebel Minis. He's 15mm scale for their vehicle called the Enforcer. Highly recommend it. And I'll show the information for Rebel Minis at the end of the video real quick. And this one, much like this one, these are both from China from some random person I saw on eBay. Basically a pack of 100 of this one or this one. Well, 100 of these was about 80 cents. And they're all seated figures, but they're seated in different positions. This one was just a pack of what they claim to be 20mm figures, but as you can see, they're much larger. Okay, so for this example, let's go ahead and start with the P36, the one that I've been working on for a while. And I'll adjust the camera here real quick. Sorry for the shaky. Okay, so for the P36, what I ended up using, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it in this, if it'll focus correctly. I doubt it will. It's trying. But as you can see, I put a figure in there. There is a model in there. This model, there we go. You can barely see him, and he's not painted up very well. That's on purpose because it was going to be obscured by the windshield anyway. By the canopy, rather. So that figure in there is actually this one, this little one. And it worked great because he sat in there and it fit well. And as you can see, I did have to chop off his legs. You see, it works well for this. If I could get him to sit down. Well, anyway. Let's see, like this. There we go. And see, it looks right. To me, it looks right. But let's take a look at the supposed 20mm. This is the male. And as you can see, hey, he looks right also. For the size of this vehicle, he does look correct. He looks like, oh, sorry. And this is a male figure. Yeah, that looks about right. But this size would not look right inside that canopy. And of course he fell. I also have from this same set from this one is a female. She's supposed to be in a swimsuit, like a swimsuit model. There you go. And again, she does look right. I mean, there's no doubt about it. When you're standing up against them, they do look correct. Okay? He's not going to stand. But anyway, you saw how he was. And now she fell. From the same line as these other two is this guy. Now he looks like a giant. And this figure would not fit in here at all. And when you put him against this tire, he looks rather large. He does. He looks big. And for the sake of argument, we've got a 15mm figure here, also by Rebel Minis. He does look kind of small. This one is a true 15mm miniature. They're about the same size, and yeah, they look kind of small, but believe it or not, They are about the right scale to him if he were to be standing up. I apologize for that. Okay. Just real quick, another one. This one is slightly larger. I believe he is 18 millimeter. This is by ACP Games. This is the Port Reliant Merc. Yeah, he looks about right also. But because of his size, he would not look good in here. And here's another 15 millimeter. This one is now owned by Ralpartha Europe. I can't remember what they were called. See if I can get a better light on here. There we go. Whoops, and I'm shaking the screen. So yeah, there we go. That's a little bit better. There we go, we're fixed. Anyway, so yeah, it's all going to be a matter of what looks good with the car. Okay, so we're going to switch this out. This is supposed to be like a monster truck type thing that I made. I'm going to do a full gallery later because I had a lot of people interested in it. Unfortunately, I will not be able to make another one for reasons. So we'll take this. This is a Olds 442. I can't remember the year. But anyway, same principle. So we'll use this guy here. If I could get him to stand upright. Maybe if I put him between. Now if I put that guy there, yeah, he looks great. He looks perfect for this vehicle. He's about the right size. Let's take that 442. You know what? Actually, we'll use this one. This is it's a Volkswagen Golf, 1990 Volkswagen Golf. Now the 15 millimeter guys look a little bit too small. But wait a minute. So does the 20 millimeter guy. The 12 millimeter guy looks too small on a car that's supposed to be very small. At the same token, we have the Honda 85 Honda City Turbo. Scales up about right, excuse me, to the Volkswagen. But again, we have our 15 millimeter, about 18 millimeter. Oh my goodness, he just doesn't want to stand up. It's not working. You can tell that I'm doing this stuff on the fly, guys. It's okay. It's all good. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Okay, it could be a molding issue because one leg looks funnier than the other. He's supposed to be like leaning on the car. Let me see. Maybe I can get him like this. Ideally, that's what he's supposed to be looking like. Okay. So again, now it looks like a minivan. And this is a very compact car. But wait a minute. How is this thing bigger than this thing? So like I said in my previous video, the scale of Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars isn't made for collectors or anybody like us who worry about scale, or anybody who worries about scale. These are just toys to have fun with kids. See, I mean, look at that. There's no way that this Golf is as big, bumper to bumper. It's just about as big as this Olds 442. Or for that matter, the Super Mustang, the 60, I believe the 65 Mustang? No, 68 Mustang. Now this driver would look, this particular driver would probably look well because of how the interior is, how small it is. Might not be long enough, but he should fit. This guy, he might look decent as well. But he might look a little bit too big also. So then we have the tank thing that my son had me make for him. So again, standing up there, it's all going to be a matter of preference. That guy looks about right. It's 15 millimeter. 20 millimeter guy. If it were slammed, like it originally was, yeah, it would look about right. He doesn't want to stand up. There we go. Whoops. Yeah, does he look too big? Maybe. Now again, with as far as the size of these China figures that I have, I can only go by what the seller was saying they're sized up for. So I have to trust in them. I don't have a micrometer in order to measure it properly. But let's take a look at one that I have open currently that I'm going to be working on. That's a Ikwin, available from Loud Ninja Games on the Alternative Armies website. He is 18 millimeter, I believe, is what the designer said. Eli Arnett, a good friend of mine. Check his stuff out. But let's see, but that's not the point of this. So this is the Tuscan Raider, Hot Wheels Star Wars line. It's going to be modified up from some Wasteland guys. I've already cut it open, so you'll be able to see what's in there. But basically, oh, I don't know where its canopy went to. I'll have to check to see where I put that thing. So basically, that's how it comes apart. The wheels are just in there. They get locked in like this. But anyway, so it's designed to have two drivers in it. So obviously, as big as this vehicle is and the tall guy looks great, this guy is just going to end up sitting here like so. And you know what? I got to chop off that steering wheel very quickly because I already have a driver for it. Allow me one moment. I know I'm hitting the camera. There's a reason why I'm leaving the steering column on. Okay, so anyway, we used the big guy. I could try to put him in. You kind of see he's going to look really big unless I chop off his legs like mid-thigh. But even then, they're going to be hitting the steering column. So then we have this China guy. Looks good. Doesn't look bad. Looks like he fits. Again, they're saying that it was advertised as about 18 to 20 millimeter. Size may vary according to the seller, but it looks about right. However, I am going to use the driver by Rebel Minis because I think he actually looks better. It does have a little tab right here that you can maybe see. There you go, little tab in there. Just got to drill a little hole. That'll help keep them in place. Maybe I can push them in. But anyway, if I use him, oops. Let's see if I could get him to stick in there. There we go. If I use him, once I drill out that little tab, and let's try to put him in there without it messing up. Of course I'm going to do that. Why wouldn't that happen? That always happens. Something always happens. Something always has to go wrong. Well, I'm going to put him in there anyway. So where's my vise? Where is my pinning vise? Of course I put it up in the door. Why wouldn't I? Okay, rather than go through all that, try to look for it, let's go ahead and mod it out right now. I know he's going to go right here. Let's clean it out. This video is ending up being longer than I suspected it would be. So anyway, put the little tab in there. Oh my goodness. Now it doesn't want to fit in the tab. Are you serious? Nothing can ever go right whenever I try to do something right on the spot. Yay, now my freaking knife is coming apart. Excuse me. Okay, so he's in there. Not perfectly, but close enough. So there you have it. Now he's in there. Again, it was 15mm. I am going to put the windshield back on. But once I get him in there properly... Oh my goodness. Why doesn't this stuff want to work when I'm doing it? Anyway. Never fails. Never freaking failed, man. Anyway, to me, he looks the right size for it. I'm going to have to chop off a little bit more of that steering column. Thought I was going to leave it in. Apparently, I'm not going to be able to. Try it one more time for shits and giggles. Okay, so there we go. So he's in there. So he's looking right. Now we'll try the 18mm, the supposed 18mm model, which I'm not going to be able to sit in there quite properly because it is plastic. And I'm not about to glue him in. I will admit, he does look a little bit better seated in there if I was really going to worry about the scale of it. Let's go ahead and snap it together real quick. So yeah, there is a way that you can pop those rivets and be able to snap these back together easily. Just got to be really careful the way you do it. Oh, okay, so there we go. So yeah, his head still going to be obscured, but from the front, he'll work also. And this is supposed to be a really big vehicle. This is supposed to be pretty small, but look how big it is. This is, what is this? I can't remember what this is. I just opened up the box too. Anyway, it's part of the Super Chromes, which I'm probably going to have to do a gloss coat on real quick, because I'm going to keep this chrome. So anyway, the whole point of this video was you need to decide what works best per car. Not worry about a grand scale of everything, one scale for all cars, because not one scale is going to work for every vehicle. It really isn't. And I do applaud, the manufacturers out there, the miniature guys, that are really trying to provide us with stuff for our cars. Unfortunately, it is going to end up being hit or miss, because as I've shown you, some figures look really great standing up against a car, against a ride. Try to get them on there. No. Let's see if the babe will work. There she goes. So yeah, some will look really great standing against them outside. Some of them not so much. But if you're going to be making drivers and gunners and people sticking out the windows, which is what I'm really looking for, and I think a lot of us are looking for, no one size is going to actually fit every vehicle. They'll come close, but you know, don't break your back trying to get this perfect scale for everybody, because it's not going to happen. Just be totally honest with you. It's not going to happen. I don't expect it to happen, but as long as it looks good to me, as long as it looks good to you, the end consumer, my fellow players, that's all that matters. Alright guys, have a good Memorial Day. Hope you're having fun. Stay safe. And for those wondering, the P36, I will be doing a photo gallery on it. There's a reason why it's taken so long. And again, I want to thank everybody for the well wishes for my son. He's doing much better now. He's back home out of the ICU. Been home for a couple days. He's doing very well. He's in good spirits. So thank you. The family does appreciate it. And as I said, I would say rebelminis.com. Those miniatures are from the Shahadeen line, 15mm Sci-Fi. Check them out. They're really cool. Thanks Mr. I keep saying his last name wrong. Renegar. I don't know why I kept saying Regnar. It's Renegar. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong too. So my apologies, Mike. But thanks again for those figures. It was just a thing on the whim, and you came through swimmingly. Really check them out. Really some great models on there that you might find that will fit your gaming for 15mm. Also for Gaslands, there's quite a bit of stuff on there you might like. Alright guys, have a good one. Take it easy.